Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and today we are going to be doing the class video for Barbarian. So let's go ahead and change up our outfit. This is the one that makes the most sense. And soon I will be introducing you to Lothar the Barbarian. Yeah, I know, it's not the most creative name, sue me. Now, what dash makes the most sense? I like the idea of spike track. That seems either that or... I mean, to be fair, airburst is not bad, but I do think that I want to stick with spike track, as that seems more like a wild warrior of the earth to me. And I'll just go whiteout and say that whiteout? Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and delete that ink. No, I'll go right out and say that this is probably going to be a very earth-heavy build, as Barbarians, unless they're of the wild magic persuasion, not the most magical of creatures. They're very martial creatures. They like to swing heavy weapons. Like, one of their starting weapons is a greataxe, so I mean, you get the idea. They like their heavy weapons. They also start, however, with thrown weapons. I believe they can start with either a simple martial weapon, like a secondary, or they can start with a pair of hand axes. So, there's all sorts of options here. Obviously, I'm taking the Great Axe for my character build here. Now, could I use the rock-solid tomahawk? Yes, I could. I'm just not the biggest fan of that weapon. That having been said, it is definitely an option. Same with Obsidian Cascade. Or Earthquake Axe. Like, all of those things are very barbarian in nature. But so is something like Radiant Knockout, which is just a big, heavy hammer swing. And if you don't understand how a big, heavy hammer is a barbarian thing, then I feel bad for you. But let's look. Because you could take Hammer of Atlas, Rock Solid Tomahawk, Earthquake Axe. Like, there's all sorts of very interesting things that we can do here, and they all very much lean into that whole power is king sort of build. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to take power is king and try to make it work for this build. Lothar is going to be showing you just how mighty he can be. Hailing from a tribe. See, I haven't decided where Lothar is from. Like, he's obviously a mighty warrior from a more tribal setting. But tribal doesn't necessarily mean primitive. Like, I would go so far as to say that theirs is a society that... Okay, I really wish my D-pad would stop doing that. Okay, well... Apparently the game has decided that it wants to give me trouble with finding my retro floor plan, because of course. Ugh. Gotta be this way, don't you? I'm trying to talk about Barbarians and about my boy Lothar, and God, seriously, like, this is... It might almost be time for a new controller, as the sensitivity of my pad is getting a little crazy. Or maybe that's on me. So, Nox, how about that retro floor plan? Well, while I'm in the process of stalling for time, I will say that I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. I definitely felt the desire to pick up my next class-based video just because it makes the most sense at this point. We're just gonna knock it out here. But yeah, this build should be a lot of fun, as it's just going to be a lot of slamming heavy objects in people's faces and, you know, laughing at them in their silly ineptitude. Now, funnily enough, I guess not funnily enough, but it makes perfect sense, but... Go away. Do we have anything over here we want? Yes, we have this. As I was looking over the... As I was looking over the information for Barbarians as they exist in 5th edition, I mean... To be fair, just about all of it was what I expected. I just wasn't aware of how everything worked. Like, I understand why they're such a popular choice. They're the only class that rolls a D12 for hit points, as far as I know. Which kind of reinforces this idea that they are kind of the powerhouses of the martial D&D classes. Fighters are more focused on maneuvers and tactics. Barbarians are focused on just smashing people's faces. I'm having problems. Okay, I am just getting kicked around here. Okay, so we've definitely got some good options here. Okay, well, I definitely want those. Alright, I am definitely feeling the strain right now. Okay, I'm just playing really poorly right now. But also keep in mind that I am using a build that I'm kind of with. So Forgive me if I'm looking a little iffy. Now, classically, barbarians have always been portrayed as these kind of like tribal warriors, so the depiction that they get really makes a lot of sense in Dungeons and Dragons, because I mean, yeah, that's kind of what they're supposed to be. I was not aware that they could start with throwing axes, though. Now, I suppose as far as why axes instead of any other weapon, it's because axes, and I suppose to an extent hammers, are much simpler melee weapons to create and use in a... Like, I don't want to say it as less civilized, but I suppose that is the most accurate way of putting it. In a less... Actually, revolutionized or industrial is the better word. In a less industrial setting, it's much easier to create things like axes and hammers and spears. Oh, that was a bad idea. It's alright, I managed to get out of taking heavy punishment to my noggin. Now, some of the interesting role-playing tips that I've seen about barbarians include the idea that, you know, they are where they're from, kind of, like, especially if you're a PC barbarian, you're kind of the best of your tribe, but they can often be influenced by warriors from other realms. Like, it's not uncommon for barbarians to travel with a party and, you know, come to understand their ways and want to try new things, because after all, they are warriors and they are interested in battle tactics. It's just what they have to use for their abilities is limited by where they come from. So it's not uncommon to see barbarians pick up new equipment and ideas as they travel with a party. Okay, tired of getting my ass kicked. For example, barbarians are in no way restricted from using shields. Matter of fact, you can. As a matter of fact, some barbarians, depending on your DM, your setting, what have you, will start with a shield. So why the hell not? Grab that. And yeah, I'll take a risk and go ahead and upgrade my robe. Now, in the player's handbook, one thing that I noticed that I really thought was interesting is the barbarian ability of unarmored defense, which essentially allows them to use a second ability score as a modifier for their armor class, which I think is interesting. It also explains why most barbarians wade into combat with nothing but their pecs. Nope, we're not doing a wild magic barbarian, and yes, that is a thing. It was a thing added in a different handbook than the player's handbook, but it is a thing. Oh, I hate those stupid barrels, and my controller is starting to just tease me at this point. Oh, you thought you were doing something you wanted to do? Well, too bad. I'm doing something that I want to do now, bitch. Now, I would say there's got to be something very cathartic about playing a barbarian, because there's always something very satisfying about just using primal might to smash through your problems. Now, I'm not that kind of player. I'm more the wizard/rogue player. God damn it, I should have used one of my other spells. I was trying to throw another axe. But that is one of the things about barbarians, is that they do end up getting a lot of health, and while they're in their rage state, they resist a lot of damage. That's part of the reason why I took the robe that I did, is to simulate that kind of like damage resistance while they're in rage mode. As long as we're talking about barbarians, I should probably fess up to the idea that in all the time I've spent playing D&D, I have never once played a barbarian. It's just not my playstyle. My very first character was a rogue. I don't want to give up... Yeah, I don't want to give up the Radiant Beat. I'll have to think about this. Because there is a way I could save Radiant Beat, but... There we go, that actually makes a lot of sense. We are going to take Family Seal. Now, do I even have enough money to do this at this point? Kind of. So what I could do is get a second, and then I could drop something else for Radiant Beat, but I would either be giving up that or Tectonic Drill. Honestly, not the worst deal in the world, but let's get a little bit of extra money first. Alright, let's go ahead and do this now, because I think what I want to do is I'll take this, which is on sale. And then Bouncing Surge. Now, more than likely, what's going to be gotten rid of is Tectonic Drill, but I think I can live with that. And now we get cheap potions. You know what? Cheap potions are okay by me. Alright, now I don't actually want Rock and Roll, so I'll aim to get rid of that as soon as possible. Is there another freebie on the stage? There is not. Okay. But we now have a thrown weapon in the form of Bouncing Surge. Could you go down already? Thank you. Yeah, but as I was saying, I've never once played a Barbarian character, because normally I'm not the person that likes to do the strength-based builds. I prefer making either intelligence or... Hold on, I'm trying not to die here. I prefer to do intelligence or dexterity-based builds. And only recently have I started playing around with classes like druids and whatnot. With one of my more recent characters being a what is it, Totem of the Moon or Aspect of the Moon? But yeah, she focuses very heavily on her shape-shifting ability. And because of that, that actually makes her more of a frontline character than one would expect. Like, the number of times I've chosen to just charge into the fray in the form of a rhinoceros, or using the arms of a silverback gorilla for more power. It's what you would expect, but, I mean, it all works. But, I mean, that's a druid, not a barbarian. And I'm not sure... If I multi-class her, I don't think I would want her to multi-class into barbarian. I think I would want her to multi-class into monk. But that's not Lothar. That's a completely different character. Lothar is someone that I'm designing just... like, right here and now. Yeah, see, this is why I didn't want to just grab Rock and Roll, because now instead of getting Radiant Beat or Bouncing Surge upgraded, they're trying to upgrade Rock and Roll, and I hate that. I'm gonna do it just to remove it from the possible upgrade pool, but yeah, I'm annoyed now. I don't really have anything that is going to help me out in the long run. Except for maybe this. What? What the heck? So let's dig into this. In the idea of him having a blue robe, or at least the representation of him having a blue robe, I'm thinking what Lothar is a warrior from the Northlands who, I mean, obviously specializes in axes. And it's probably also pretty easy to extrapolate that he's a fighter of the land. If I had to choose a subclass for him, I would say it's either Totem Warrior or Juggernaut. Once again, I'm aware that Juggernaut is not something from the player's handbook, but, you know, just understand that not everything has to be from the player's handbook to be viable. It's just not necessarily something that everyone's going to know about. Alright, well that's more of a magic/summon thing. And again, I don't think Lothar is a... Okay, can everything not suck for a minute? I guess not. Okay! These two wind-based rogues are gonna kill me. Okay, that was absolutely goddamn horrid. Another performance like that, and I'll be dead. But maybe this is explaining why I don't really do the Barbarian thing much. It's just not in my mindset. I prefer having advantage in things, not just pure strength. Alright, well, we definitely take this. That's a maybe. Let's also grab a cheap potion while I'm at it. Is there anything that I want to sell? I mean, probably the copper pipe. It's not helping that much. Well, that was weird. I mean, I didn't really need it, but I mean, it would have been nice to have the option. Oh, there's these assholes again. I hate those guys so much. Oh, hey, I'm finally allowed to upgrade Radiant Knockout. I was calling it Radiant Beat earlier. I was obviously mistaken. I guess there was a part of me that was like, oh, Radiant Beatdown. Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, it does, but that's just not the name of it. Yeah, there's nothing there that really makes sense for a Barbarian. I am going to grab this just because I just feel like I'm going to need it. Alright, Field Berserk would be good if I were a Berserker, but since Lothar is a Totem Warrior, or Totem Warrior or Juggernaut, I think we just move on. What does that do? All healing increases my max health up to a certain limit. I don't think I'm going to be making... I mean, it's a very Juggernaut thing to have, but I'm just not thinking it's going to help very much. So we're just going to drop it off. I'll probably be eating those words in a minute or two, but here we go. Yeah, taking 412 damage on one floor kind of makes you a little iffy as to whether or not you're going to get anywhere. Oh, that was quick. But no, I want to see if I can upgrade Bouncing Surge. Oh my god, these guys are just kicking my ass. Like, I never said that this would be easy for me. Ooh, that's actually useful. Let's see, are you... Okay, well, Tiny Crocodile Heart would have been useful a while ago. But, I'm not going to turn down the Perfect Time Crystal. I'm going to feel a little silly if I could have gotten the Magician's outfit. Which, you know, realistically speaking, what use does a Barbarian have for a Magician's outfit? And now for my next magic trick, I'm going to make my enemies disappear. Ooh, it's magic. You managed to evade all of those attacks earlier. I'm impressed, but annoyed. Let's see, what do you have? Okay, well, we're going to want to make room for Gaia's shovel, so let's buy a cheap potion. Then we'll put that down and take the shovel. We'll also put that down and take Kasim's airy cloak. Like I said, they can change their mind and try out new tactics as they learn them. But at the same time, you can never count out a man's heirloom axe. And just like that, we're good to move on. And yeah, there was no Magician's Top Hat, so nothing like that for me. One, two, three. Yay! That wasn't so bad. I thought it might have been, but it wasn't. Hey, I'm coming for you, Sura. Coming to show you my ancestral might. And wow. Okay, you know, controller, I know we've had our differences in the past, but this would be a good time to listen to me when I say that I want to do something. There are obviously relics here that I like, but some of them would have been better to have earlier than later. You know, little annoying. Give me that. Oh, of course, I threw the Thunder Javelin a little too. Yeah, that's an explanation as to why he's got that. It's a Thunder Javelin passed down from a friend. He's from the Northland, so he probably has a replica of Mjolnir. Wow, I suck. There we go. Yes, the might of the Barbarian can overcome anything, so long as he pays attention to his surroundings and doesn't get hit by everything like a dumbass. Well, we just won a run of Wizard of Legend while proving our ancestral might. So everyone say both hello and goodbye to Lothar as he ascends into the Hall of Fame of our class builds. And if you guys are interested in which class build comes next, feel free to drop a comment either here or on my social media. Let me know what you think, and I'm totally down for it. One of these days, I may very well decide I want to both speak and belch at the same time. That's perfect. One of these days, I may decide I want to actually roll a Barbarian. And if I do, I will let you guys know how it goes. But I'm the guy who prefers to play the wizard and the rogue, so it's going to be interesting seeing how my play changes when I take up an entirely strength-based role. So, that could be fun. But let me know what you guys think about the next class. Let me know what you guys think about barbarians in general. As always, I'm happy to have you here, and I'm glad that you spent some of your free time here with me today. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you may happen to be, and I will catch you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and you take care, everybody.